I'm starting the recording, and my name is Andrew, and I'm really sorry. I'm really glad to see all of you guys here on the presentation about what to do and what to prepare for the .next conference. And I'm gonna spend about 20 minutes of my talking, and after a while, after this presentation, the recording as well as the slides will be available for you to refresh something you can miss or don't misunderstood, and to share to some other speakers you can refer. So what we're going to do, I'll cover some aspects of pre-conference activities like slides and rehearsals if to clarify some things, and then the main part of this presentation is the conference itself, about the April 21 and 22. 22nd and 23rd, and one of the main things on the conference is I can name it like social activities. And the day before the conference, we usually have the city tour. I'll cover it later on. And still, after the conference, we have something to do, like to fill the feedback, to get some memories, to share some slides after your presentation, etc. And after this presentation, we'll have some time for the questions and hopefully answers. So first of all, please, once you have your slides, even in the draft version, please share them in the Dropbox by the link before on the slide. This is very important for us because usually speakers don't prefer not to share slides after the presentation, after the conference, because it's some other activities late still, and I have to go to the airport, etc. So please drop the draft one. You can update anytime, but this gives us a chance to put your presentation on the website, because people after the conference, they demand us, well, I saw the presentation, I saw the talk, but I need some slides to share in my community, in my company, etc. And please don't ignore the program committee, because we can give you some very, very important feedback on the slides, because some of you probably haven't been to Russia before, so we can give you some instant feedback about Russian audience, about some jokes, about some maybe something people in Russia are not aware of. This is very important, as well as we can give some feedback about your voice tone and speed of your voice, etc. Let's move to the transfer and accommodation. The conference will take place in the Radisson Pulka Square venue. It's just near the airport. This is the Pobeda Square 1. This is a physical address. And in case you will travel by metro in Russia, in St. Petersburg, in Moscow, they're quite safe to travel into. So you can easily go to metro station. It's just 5 or 7 minutes by foot from the hotel. This is how the parking looks like from the front, and this is how the venue looks like from inside. So just a moment. Like this. This is the main stage. We will supply you with a big projector, with a clicker, with a microphone, with secondary screens for your convenience, and there is a crew of technical guys who will be sitting in front of you in order to help you to track your time, to fix some things related to hardware. Okay, please press the mute button, because I still can hear some voices. Thank you. Transfer and accommodation starts from the airport, and it's at the worst case, it will take 15 minutes by car from the airport to get to the venue. I don't really recommend you to catch a taxi in the airport from a taxi driver. I strongly recommend you to call Uber or Yandex Taxi or any other service available in Russia, or we can arrange a taxi for you with a special guy who will waiting for you in the airport, in the exit, with a table with your name and the name of the conference. That's one of the most convenient ways to travel to the venue for you. Also, upon getting to the venue, we will give some of you SIM cards with some prepaid internet plan. So in case you want those SIM cards, please ping Daria. She will prepare a SIM card for you. And as well, we also already reserved some rooms for you in the same hotel. So you literally don't need to go outside of the venue to get to the conference and back. The day before the conference, on April 21st, we start from the noon from the hotel lobby. We meet there 5 minutes before and go to the city tour on the bus. We probably will travel around the city center because this is probably one of the most beautiful areas in St. Petersburg. But don't forget that St. Petersburg is a northern city, and bring some clothes, warm clothes with you. Otherwise, you will get some restrictions, because sometimes we can go around the city, and you need to get warmed. And we will return back to the hotel about 5:30 by the same shuttle. You will have some spare time to check in, to get some rest, to do some job, and on 6:30 we will start the sound check. Hopefully, all the rooms reserved for us will be ready for sound check. This literally means that you'll bring your laptop and put it into the projector and try your slides, how they look like, how your video or maybe audio sounds, etc., etc. There will be several guys who titled the track owners. They will help you to check your environment, check your slides. But everything happens, and sometimes we can ask you to come the next morning, because some hardware it can have some difficulties, some issues we will still solve in overnight. But still, I really hope to get on track all rooms in the evening. The backup plan is to go to the venue in the morning before the first talk. The next thing is the discussion zone. All of you, after your talk, will be invited to go to the discussion zone where you can reach a community, all those people who wanted to ask you some more detailed questions, more deep questions. This is some extra time you can spend with your audience on the conference. Please don't ignore that, because my experience shows that people are mostly active on those discussion zones, because when they are sitting in the big room for half a thousand people, many of those they are shy to raise their hands and to ask questions in English, so they prefer to step by you on the discussion zone. The speaker's dinner. This is going to happen before the conference. In the evening after the sound check, we are still trying to find the optimal place for this social activity, but most likely it's going to be not that far from the venue. We usually take 3 or 4 minutes by foot distance. And this is how the schema, how the plot looks like. There are 3 rooms. One is the biggest one, room 2 is the smallest, medium one, and room 3 is usually the smallest one. Main things here is the discussion zone. just a moment. Somebody's chatting. Track 1, do they correspond to room? Yeah, they Stan Dropkin is asking the question about the mapping across the tracks number and room numbers. Yeah, they have the direct mapping. Room 1 means track 1, but still, we are still deciding on which talk to put into which section, into which room, because we'll make a poll about around all the audience, which will shows us where people is going to go during the conference. That will mean that if a talk is extremely popular, we'll put it into this room 1. If it's not that popular, we will put it into the room 2 or either room 3. It depends on people's opinion about how they consider the talk is valuable for them or not. Let's move back to the plan. On the bottom, you can see the discussion zone, which is yellow. You will be guided there by a special crew from our team, and one of the smallest rooms here is the speakers room, the red one. We'll probably also serve a dinner there for you, because some of you may prefer to have some quiet place to get some meals. And another thing is the registration deck. It's right here. It's green one. It's a small corner. When you arrive to the venue, don't wait for the long queue. Just go to the special section for registration for speakers. Don't wait in the queue. This is it. This is a schedule. The schedule looks like 3 tracks in parallel. It opens and finishes with keynote talks. So plan your attendance accordingly. And also, every single talk has special, how to say it, has special signs about the language, which is very, very important for people who, some of our audience, they are not that good in English, so they might prefer to go to some other talk in Russian rather than to go to the English one. But for you, in case you don't speak Russian, we tried our best to organize it in that way. So in any single point of time, you can go to at least one room with English talk. So you don't. So you should not sit in a venue in the speakers room and waiting. Well, they don't have any English talk, so I have to sit here. So we won't do that. This is the complexity. We supplied all the talks with a level of complexity, which starts from the introductory one. We call it smoothie, and the practicing engineers means that it's like medium complexity, and the hardcore means it's very, very focused area on some aspects, some technical aspects. So people should be they are expected to be some kind of very experienced in order to understand the content. But this is some generic description. In case you have any questions, in case you have any troubles in Russia during your travel, during getting to the flight, etc., please don't hesitate to call Daria. We prefer the WhatsApp channel. In case Daria is not responding, Valentina is her backup. If something went totally wrong, meaning that Daria or Valentina don't respond to you, I'm the last person you can reach, and we literally available 24 hours a day. So don't ignore that ability to contact us. During the conference, you have to register yourself to bring a badge to put it into your chest, and wear it during the whole conference till the very end. Don't forget about the discussion zones. The lunch will be served in the speaker room. The speaker room is a quiet place to chat about your presentation, to have some rest time, etc. And sometimes some of you will be asked to give some additional content for us to give an interview. We will stream it online for all the people who registered for the conference, or just having a streaming link. And don't forget to make some photos for your memories. We'll put it later on to some social networks. And after the conference, we'll have after the first day of the conference, we'll have the big party for everyone. So you can continue your discussion zone in the venue. We will supply every people with meals, some beverages. So just have fun, listen for good music, and we will probably make some buffs for those who don't drink and want to interact more, to discuss some aspects of .NET development. And after this, the second day of the conference, we'll have a closed party for our speakers and organizers. Don't ignore that. In case you didn't buy your tickets yet, please plan accordingly. We will move to some other restaurant just after the closing ceremony, when me and Alexey Fedorov, we will go to the stage and say, thank you everyone for attending this great conference, and see you next time. And then we go to have some more fun in the restaurant. We almost over, and it's time to talk about departing from St. Petersburg. You can go to the airport or the railway station by your own, but also you can ask Daria to order a taxi for you. This is very, very convenient in case you have some late flights or early flights. And after the conference, we will ask you to give us a feedback about the conference, about your speaker's experience, because this is very important for us to have you on board next time, because we have plans to continue the .next conferences in Russia for more times. And we also will ask every people who attended the conference to give us the feedback about your talks. And after a while, after 2 weeks usually, we will send you the feedback, which is quite good, and you can get very important things to improve to your talk for the next time. And obviously we will share the link to the video and photos. Please ping Daria if we miss to send those links to you, but we usually don't. That's probably it. And that was a pleasure to contact you this evening. And I'm really looking forward to see you in St. Petersburg soon in April. And still, if you have any questions, please please ask. Hey, I'm open for questions.
I just have a question about the city tour before the conference. It's in the center of St. Petersburg, right? So we'll see the famous sites, like the most famous things to see, really in the city. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're totally correct. But we will send. We are still having some fun negotiating with the travel agency, who have some default routes for touristic groups, and I believe in a couple of weeks or maybe 3 weeks we will finalize that agenda for you and send it to every speaker, so you can choose and decide if it's interesting for you or not.
Sounds great, thanks.
But usually I have been living in St. Petersburg for more than 20 years, and I usually join this city tour because still we are trying to cover some interesting aspects of St. Petersburg life, which is quite interesting for me as well. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you very much. And this is it. Thank you for coming, and see you in St. Petersburg in person. Don't forget your warm clothes and prepare your slides. See you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrei.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, Andrei.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao,
Bye.
Daria.
Ciao. Ciao.